Hi, it's Ronnie, and welcome to my channel and to a Punched Out Thursday to Die For with Kathy, Krista, myself, Dorothy, Rebecca, and Sonia. And I will be using my punches and dies today. I'm using this Echo Park paper, all boy 2, and I'm using scraps. Nothing was a full 12 by 12, but they're pretty big scraps, so I have plenty to work with. And seriously, this is like my 6th or 7th time doing this voiceover. I kept saying whale instead of shark. Yeah, and then I upload one to YouTube. And I watched it on my video editing program and totally missed that I did it 3 times in one sentence. Granted, it was a long sentence, but yeah, 3 times. So I deleted it off of YouTube, and I'm trying one more time. If it don't work this time, y'all are going to get the word whale in here somewhere. Um, but I am going to fussy cut out some of those whales there, and I am going to see that light blue paper down there at the left? I am going to put them on there like I'm using it for water. But it's going to be my center strip there. I made it a little wider than most times. And those, almost said it, those shark are not very big. So I'm going to get 4 on there plus my photo. And my photo is of my grandson, and it don't have a story because it's one of those things. Okay, let's take your picture so we can post it on Facebook so your grandmas can see you and what you're doing. So I thought, well, I'm going to go with that and change it a little bit. His shirt says, keep calm and keep it real. Well, there's no sharks in a creek here in Missouri, at least none that I know of. But I'm going to go ahead and use sharks on his layout. And my title's going to be Keep Calm and Keep It Real or Not. So, yeah, I'm just going to use the sharks on here and have fun with that. I got my punches out so I can make a shark. And see the one right there above the photo facing forward? That's the one I'm going to try to recreate. And I did cut a whole circle out here of the light blue, but then I'm going to catch it and make it smaller so it'll be like the light blue on the bottom of that whale. Shark. I mean shark. See how it comes so easily? I think I'd rather it be a whale, but yeah, subconsciously or something, because I keep saying it. I punched out a couple of white eyes right down there, and then I looked over and noticed that his whites are not white, they're gray. So I punched out a couple of gray then, and I'm taking his little eyeballs and putting them to where he's looking to his left and down a little bit. And then I'm going to place him right there where the water's at on the creek and make it look like he's looking down there at Kyler. I took my oval punch for the fins and I punched a little area first and then scooted up just a tiny bit so I'd have a thin curvature there and could make the 2 fins on the sides. But the one in the middle, I'm just freehanding and bringing it to a point, and I'm going to put it there for his middle fin. And yes, he's a shark, but I'm going to do the mouth now, and there's an important thing I'm going to give you on that one. I used my 1 1/4 inch punch on it where the shark itself has got 2 inches, and I'm going to make sure that I have a curve. So that's why I'm putting it back in and putting it in the oval. I didn't want it as much of a curve as is on the circle, so I decided to use the oval and just curve it a little bit. And see how he's smiling now? He's going to have teeth, but he is smiling now. And if you look at the little one up there that I'm using as inspiration, his is straight across. I did one straight across, testing, seeing how I do on the mouth, and those little scallop scissors. I mean, it's a small scallop. And I wanted small because his mouth isn't that big since I only used a 2-inch punch for his body. And another tip, if you do this, do the bottom ones first. I did the bottom ones as gray because he did. The one on the uh, inspiration piece is straight across. I didn't like it. It looked like he's getting ready to take a bite out of Kyler. So I made it where it curved and the corners of the mouth perked up like a smile. And I'm happier with that. Even though it's not exactly like the inspirational one, it still made me a little happier. Anyway, I scooted in and did a close up here because you can see how tiny, very, very tiny, my teeth are. The ones in the inspiration piece are pointed. However, I didn't find anything right off the bat that was pointed. So I seen these scissors and thought, well, those will work. That's pretty tiny and I'm wanting tiny. And if I found something pointed, I had some rickrack dye that I thought might work, but then I got to thinking, that'd be awful big. This is probably my best choice that I have. And you can cut them down, and I did on those. But while looking at the inspiration shark, I did notice the top teeth were white and the bottom teeth were gray. So that's what I did with mine. Another helpful hint is to put the gray ones on first because I had to pull up the last tooth on each side and tuck the gray ones under and then glue them back down. But yeah, it gave it a little more dimensional look having the gray ones on the bottom. At least that's what I thought looking at the inspiration one. I am putting the little teeny tiny shark up on foam tape where they're swimming in the water. And I first planned on 3, and then I thought, well, that makes 4 shark on my page. And I decided to add one more because I decided to count the big one. Well, I'm going to add one more besides that. So it's going to be an even number if you count the big one. But I'm not going to count the big one no more. It's just going to be an entity unto itself. But see how his part of his body, not very much, it's not even half, is hanging over into the water of the creek. That's why I put him there, is to have, him in the area of actual water. And I was just showing you my under the sea dyes, and I'm pulling out just the seaweed, but I will go ahead and pull it back out. Well, it's still out. But I'm going to go ahead and cut 3 angelfish to put on my layout too, just to add something else there. And I'm going to make them the color of that. Well, I am not sure if that's concrete that's pretty old and cracked and, like that, or if it's actually rock. But my angel fish are going to be that color. And that way I'll be repeating that color into my layout. His shirt I repeated in the red. And my water is not exactly the same color as the creek, but it gave the idea of water, at least to me, even though it has plus signs on it. I think it's plus signs. It's either pluses or X's on it. And I'm cutting my seaweed apart so I could put a little piece up there, but I wanted one more piece with the longer leaves, I guess they are, down there at the bottom, and I trimmed off what was left of it, the parts that, well, if I'd been thinking, I would have made them to a point so I could go ahead and use them, but I cut them off, and they're going to go beside the sharks up there at the top. Now, when you see the angelfish by the ones especially down there at the bottom, it looks kind of on the big side, but I read before that angelfish grow bigger if they're not in an aquarium or something, so in the deep. So I thought it'll be okay to use them with my shark because there are some that are big. I pulled out Gone Fishing. I don't know if it's the shark that went fishing or my grandson or what, but I went ahead and used it because I thought, whoever looks at my layout, they can use their own imagination on it. And I am backing it in the blue so it'll be a little more sturdier, and I'm putting foam tape on it. Just to add some dimension to the little cluster up there at the top besides the fish. You know, I just wanted to add a little bit more. And I'm going to use this one sticker. I have used it before, but it was always for a kid. But I'm going to have Here Comes Trouble. And then it's going to have an arrow pointing down. But I was thinking Here Comes Trouble for the shark. But like I said, it's got an arrow pointing down. So people might think it's the angelfish. But it could be him anyway. He might be trouble. Who knows? I am just going to put a banner up here in the top left-hand corner. I'm fishtailing it and having it go off the page. And I'm going to use one more sticker there. I had to stop the video and go get my layout because I couldn't remember what that little sticker up there is going to say. But it's follow your arrow. And I had it intended to use the smallest arrow on my arrow punch there, only I forgot. And another thing I forgot that I didn't realize till I was doing the video, and I mentioned it on that video as soon as I did it, which was closer to the front of the video, that I forgot to use my gel pen and highlight my little shark there. And so yeah, I stopped everything, deleted all the videos at the end of the videos, all the photos at the end of the video. I did not delete any video and added the highlights so that y'all could see them. However, they're a little bit on the messy side. My shark there is halfway on foam tape. There is no foam tape under the fins. And there was times when it was kind of like crooked little lines instead of as straight as they are sometimes. And the fins were really hard to do it on. But luckily I had a zig marker that matches the blue really well. So I went right over the top of them. But they are a little bit on the messy side. But they are in the photo. See there's my gel highlighting. And while these are playing, I want to mention that down there below are all the other gals doing the Punched Out Thursday. Some are on vacation, but I'm going to go ahead and leave all the links because it's kind of hard to keep track of who's gone and who's here. And you might find something else on their channel that you want to watch. But there's the follow your arrow. And it does have an arrow on there. I just wanted one more. And there is the inspiration shark that I used for the one that I created. And yeah, don't he look like he's smiling with his mouth straight across on the top? I don't know how I couldn't achieve that. I mean, you would have thought I could have, but I couldn't. I had to make the corners go up to make mine look like a smile. And yeah, he looks like he's just looking over there at Kyler and making friends. But if you leave a comment below, I'll try to get back with you. And if you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you subscribe. And those of you already are, thank you so much. But I hope you have a happy, scrappy week. Take care and stay safe. Bye.